Okay, so I have now done 10 of my 40 things. I, of course, chose the easiest things to do first. A lot of them are travel and things like that that are going to take more time. But I thought I'd show you the first 10. So I started off the album. I did a haul video where I showed where all the paper and stuff came from. It's all crate paper. But so the very first thing is I typed up the list and you slid it in there so you can pull it in and out. It's hard to do one-handed. So the first thing I did was I put a pair of earrings on. I literally haven't worn a pair of earrings in 10 years. So I thought maybe my holes would have grown closed and I was going to have to get them re-pierced, but I didn't because I went and watched YouTube, which solves most of my problems, and found that you could take a shower so that your ears get softer, then put alcohol on the post so that it doesn't get infected, and Neosporin all over your ears and around where the holes are, and they popped right through. So I was excited about that. So I bought, not those, these were the earrings I used to push in. I bought myself a new pair of earrings to celebrate. Then the next thing, I mean, I have been in my house for 15 years and I've never organized the Tupperware drawers, so I finally bought some like different ways of like storing the lids and stuff so that they're not, every time I open them, it's not like Tetris trying to get them in, or they just fall out. So that was the next thing I did. It just made me intentional because I've meant to do that forever. So now I finally did it so I could, scrapbook it. That's motivation enough. The next one was I gave up sweets for a month. It was the month of April. And this is the very first sweet I ate when I was done. Just the older I get, the harder it is to lose weight. And I thought maybe that was my problem because I do love me some sweets. But turns out that's not my problem. I lost nothing except now I know that it's not, the problem is not sweets. Probably just calories in general. Go figure, right? The other thing, I wanted to jar something, so I made jam, made homemade jam with strawberries that were fresh at the time, and it was delicious. So anyway, so I did that, and then to go along with that, I made homemade biscuits from scratch. I think I've tried it before, but I really want to be able to like whip up some biscuits. Just, I don't know. So I found this recipe on All Recipe by like Chef John or something like that. I put the recipe for both of these on my blog, and then I made some biscuits and they turned out great. They were like flaky and delicious. So I'll definitely be doing that some more. Then I planted a garden. I've definitely planted a garden before, but I didn't last year. So this year I took all these random, I was going to do like boxes and I was like, no, that's totally not me. So I took all these little random pots and flowers and just garbage and pails and Coke crates, and then this an old bathtub that I actually spent a lot of money on. My friend Kelly got one and I was like, I'm in love. So I planted just some like different tomatoes and jalapenos and herbs and stuff, and then it was like 100 degrees for the last week, and it's not supposed to be 100 degrees for another month, so it's not looking too great, but I did it and I'm going to keep working on it because I'm terrible at gardening, but I'd like to be better, so I'm not going to give up. 7, I read the book Persuasions. It's really hard for me to read books written kind of in that era, but I have watched the movie so many times that I was able to finally read and understand the book because I'm so familiar with the movie, and man, they do a good job with those movies by Jane Austen, and they're pretty accurate. So that's my second book by her I've read. She has so limited number of books that she's written just because of her early death, so I'm just slowly going through them, but that was the next one I wanted to read, and I did. The other one, man, I keep saying man too, sorry. I want to do this forever, is paint my house. And so I finally did that. And when I say I painted my house, I mean I hired someone to paint my house. I got the house painted. How about that? That's what I should have put, right? So I found someone who did it for a really affordable price, and so it's finally done. I've had the paint for a year, and I had some wood that needed to be replaced, so I just had him do it all, and just used the money I've been saving on that. So the other one, I went to go to an art gallery. So some friends and I, we went to the Nasher, which is a sculpture garden, and it's indoor-outdoor sculptures, and they did this picnic and movie in the park once a month, and so we ordered picnic basket stuff. You can't bring your own. We sat on the lawn, we listened to music. There was a movie playing, we didn't watch it, but it was interesting. So anyway, went to an art museum. And then number 10 was a photo walk through Dallas. I wanted to like be a local tourist. I try to do that. And so my cousin had this book where you can follow these trails, like an urban trail through Dallas. And so we walked through all these sites that we pass all the time. Like, I didn't know, living here for almost 40 years, that this is the JFK Memorial, which is really near the Dealey Plaza, so that makes sense, but I didn't know that. So anyway, so that's number 10. I will revisit when I've done another 10. I've kind of laid out the paper I'm going to use with each of the next 10 pages, but I haven't done them yet, and once I do, I'll scrapbook them. I've been scrapping them as I do them, and then like I said, the harder ones I am saving to the last, but I'm going to try to merge some of those into this too, so I don't save them all till I'm like the month before I turn 40, though I have over a year still, no rush, but I wanted to start early, so